LimeNotLemon, another episode of Backseat Driver, Ziggity Zig, that guy Griff, Ziggity Zig, and Phantom the Zerg, Phantom Zerg, Ghostly Zerg. That's a very Phantom-like portrait, actually. I think he chose that quite well.
Isn't it an
Two
Overlord?
silvers and silver league, so that's positive, and not going accidentally up against a big diamond, you know, like a huge... I'm in cubic zirconium league. Think about it. I'm totally in cubic zirconium league.
Oh my.
I'm sort of in diamond, but it's not quite as good. I can't even find silver.
Why does my mouse go over onto the other screen? Your mouse is weird.
Yes. Oh, there's a little spoiler alert, is that Griff forgot his mouse somewhere today, so he's now stealing my mouse. And
Which
he
should be
has
interesting.
done nothing but complain about my mouse.
It has
The sensitivity, the acceleration is all different.
It has a different acceleration.
Because all of the settings for a mouse are contained within that physical object and have nothing to do with the settings on your computer.
Well, most
Software settings whatsoever.
Well,
that doesn't enter into it at all.
the software doesn't let you change acceleration profiles unless you have a ridiculous mouse. And your mouse is not ridiculous.
Is it not? Look at it. With a clown wig and the the Groucho Marx glasses. I don't understand how you play with that. I have to take the Groucho Marx glasses off. How intriguing on Whirlwind! Griff putting his pylon up at the top of the ramp, not going for any kind of fast, well, could possibly still be a fast expand, but just would not be walling off at the natural, choosing to wall off at the main, which usually is a good idea because down here in the lower leagues, you see an awful lot of cheese.
I like it when you actually know my motivation. Good work.
Did I actually know your motivation?
Yeah, because it's a big enough map that I won't know where he is.
Right
and
away.
Yeah, so that's why I'm walling at the ramp.
I argue that you have the skills and the micro to probably defend an FFE even if you don't know where he is. I mean, if he comes at you... I did an FFE where my FFE and my first Zealot, I had a cannon down at like 4 minutes, and my first Zealot was out at 4:20, and a 7 pool will show up at something like 3 and change. So I obviously can't do it because I will not be ready for a 6 or 7 pool. But would you 6 or 7 pool on this map? Because you'd again have to scout right away.
Yeah, but I mean some of them. That's true. I just don't want because at this league they may not think of that and they may get lucky with 8 lings running into my base.
The meta of the lower leagues, plat and below, is don't think too hard about what they're thinking about. They're doing it. They got a 14 hatch up there. So, you know, whatevs. Really?
Oh yeah.
Go for the proxy pylon over there in the third base, also known as the second expansion. That always bugs me where the pros always talking about things like that, where your first expansion, your second expansion are actually your second and third base. I'm good with 1, 2, 3 base, not number of expansions, because since you automatically have a Nexus, that one apparently doesn't count. And taking the Zelnaga Tower right in the middle, Griff getting plenty of vision over the map there, just in the 2 quadrants that he needs to be viewing. Assuming that the Zerg is not going to take any kind of ninja expanders. Does not happen once again too many times in these lower leagues.
Well, it's more likely to happen probably in lower leagues.
Taking double gas, so probably not looking at a 4-gate here. The pretty rather standard 3-gate robo is a good maneuver against this because on 2 base Zerg you will see a lot of Roach play, and the Immortals are excellent against the Roaches if you have enough units backed up. Maybe a single sentry, possibly 2 sentries is usually comfortable, but you only really need the 1. Head out there with a bunch of Stalkers, Zealots, and a 2 or 3 batch of Immortals. Would also maybe like to have a little bit of vision if you decide to bother with the Observer first, but we'll see whether or not the third building is going to be a robotics facility as well. He says, pretending Griff is not actually sitting right next to him as he's saying all of these things. And it's going to be a 4-gate, the 4th building is going to be a 4-gate, and that is really going to make this interesting because now there is a ridiculous amount of gas, and so he's probably going to be looking at a sentry-heavy 4-gate coming in, or at least just having that many units. Continuing up on the probe production, so we're almost saturated on the first base. Warp Gate is still getting warped out. No, that's not quite right. Getting pushed out. Getting chronoed out. Oh, there are words that I'm trying to say. Warp Gate is just about finished. At the same time, almost timed perfectly with the 3rd gate, getting the 2 gates right away. Additional
Don't worry.
units coming out there.
I have supply blocked myself. So.
Shut up! I'm casting here. I'd forgotten about the supply block. That's true. That sentry was really, really slow. There is a Zergling that is getting spotted by that pro, but on the bright side, the Zergling is not going to be able to spot any of the units moving past. The sentry could go up there and possibly do a little tiny bit of damage. That seems to be 2 Zerglings, I think, coming across the Mothership Core if the Mothership Core is on an attack pattern. But now Griff is going to have to worry about walling off just the top of his ramp there. And we do have a single Zealot on the hold pattern, which the other units can move through. So it does seem to be, yep, there we are. So now we're just about ready to start getting in the stalker production because, as you can see, there is more minerals to a sort of a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio than
How did
gas.
you get in?
You must place that.
Did you have him on an H?
I did.
There you go. So he's going to get out and run up against... Oh, and the Zergling gets stuck at the door. Gets in for the scan. Sees that there's the 4-gate. 4-gate now with the Mothership Core assistance. So we're just going to try to move up there. And at this point, you might be looking at possibly a Twilight Council for Blink to try to get up there. But I think based on how Zergs are with walling themselves off, there is no real worry about getting up there. But I do worry slightly about seeing any kind of fast roach. Not seeing it. Going to pick off a queen right here. 2 queens if you can really get your business together. And with these 2 queens, which is pretty much the only thing that the Zerg player has got.
That is,
totally
those are
forgotten their
the
name at this
worst
point.
force fields ever.
Those are, not the best. I will certainly agree to that. However, and they leave. So that is the end of that. Touchy 4-gate, a little bit off and on there, but manages to pull that out.
Where was the
Mothership
off?
Core moving.
There was no off. I never even got on.
74 supply block.
No, but I'm saying I never got on.
I thought that was pretty good. The timings of the three gates coming in, the Mothership Core moving across. I always forget the Mothership Core having enough gas, getting the 2 gas.
Look
the 2
at
gas
that.
time.
All he'd done was go, like, he droned hard.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Oh, but that's what I mean. Like,
I think
he
his
just
problem
decided at
was
one
is
point.
he did not quite. I mean, that scan finally came down after he was fairly committed to
That scan?
not scan the scout, the other SC word, the scout of the one Zergling, and that shouldn't have got in. So he would have no scout, no idea what was going on, and all he had were 2 queens.
Yeah.
So that was a bad move on the Zerg's part. Anyway, if you watch any or all of this, leave us a comment down below, send an email to contact@LimeNotLemon.com. You can follow us on Twitter @NotLemon. There is plenty more where that came from. That was the fastest cast I've ever done.